Hello, good evening, and welcome to the second part of our lesson 3 on formulas and functions in Excel. In the first part, we saw the use of some functions, and then we included a few formulas like average. So we are going to go a functions in Excel, and the very first function that we'll be revising is sum. Actually, in lesson 2 we did make mention of sum. Actually, in lesson 2 we made mention of the use of sum. So as earlier seen, any function or formula in Excel, we always start with an equal to, and then type in the function we want to. Here you notice there are so many sum related function in Excel, and we will be seeing that in subsequent tutorial, but we just want to use the first sum. So we double click on it, and automatically the sum appears together with the parenthesis, and we have a within the parenthesis the first says number 1, and some appear with the first or open parenthesis, and we have 1 comma and then 2, 3, and so on. Input the number by typing the cell identity. Like if we want to input this number 26, we can input it by simply clicking on the cell or manually inputting the I3, the sum of all the cell. If we select everything in the column, in the English column, it gives you the mark of all the students in English, but that will not make any sense since you cannot be summing the mark of all the students in English. So we will sum the mark of a particular student, say Will, in math, English, and then math, physics, and then English. Then we can either close the bracket or we just press enter, and it gives you the similar sum we had here from G1, G3 plus H3 plus I3. In the first part, we calculated the sum total S of the mark of various students, say for instance that of Will, by using the formula method, which we inputted the G3 plus H, which we inputted G3 plus H3 plus I3 using the formula method. Similarly, around using the formula method. To do that, we insert a column here. We insert a column, merge, and then write sum total. And this time around, we are going to use the sum function instead of inputting the cell identity. And as always, we start inputting our function or formula with an equal to, then we write sum. Notice there are so many sum related functions like sum if s, sum product, and we are going to be seeing all these sum related function in our subsequent tutorial. Yes, so when you type sum, you have to open a parenthesis. You open a parenthesis and then you select, we want to sum the mark of each student in the respective subjects, and then we have to close our parenthesis and enter, and you see the mark here is the same as the one here. And similarly, we drag to apply the function across all for all the other students. Notice that when we started writing our sum, Excel was actually guiding us. It suggested like number 1, then comma number 2, and so many. So we can still use this sum function to add two numbers, like equal to sum bracket open. If I input 12 comma 5 and I close my bracket, or maybe I add a third number and close the bracket, Excel is going to understand that as 12 plus 5 plus 5, which in essence is 22, which gives us 22. But as we've earlier seen, we don't want to add numbers, but we want to add the entries of cells. Yes, we want to add the entries of cells, as we've seen. Because the sum function is so commonly used in Excel, Excel has added another function known as the AutoSum function. What does the AutoSum function do? It automatically adds all the numbers above a given cell. For instance, if you want to add all the numbers in column I, all we need to do is to place select the empty cell below the numbers in column I, and then we input equal to, then go to the home tab, editing ribbon, and then we'll find the AutoSum. We'll double click on the AutoSum, and automatically Excel will interpret it as we want to sum everything that is above the selected cell. Similarly, if we AutoSum at the end of a row, Excel will interpret it as we want to add all the numbers. Just before the row. Yes. Excel interprets it as we want to add all the numbers to the left of the selected cell. Next, we want to calculate the averages of each student, like we did. Yes, so we have here average by using the average function. Still, we start with our equal to average, and yet again Excel is proposing so many average function. You have avidef, you have average a. For now we will just concentrate on our average, and still Excel gives us the suggestion. If I input two numbers like 3 and 5, and maybe just add another like 7, when I close my bracket, Excel interprets it as I want the average of those three numbers. That's 3 plus this plus that, that's 17. The average of yes, 3 plus 5, 8 plus 7, that's 15 divided by 3, which gives us 5. But that's not what we want here. That's not what we want. We want to calculate the average of each student for the three subjects. So we select those three subjects, and instead of selecting the total times the coefficient, we directly just select the mark of each student. Yes, and then enter, and we have 11.33, and here we had 11. Normally they were not supposed to be different. Yeah, not supposed to be different. Oh well, I understand. It's the problem is at the level of the coefficient. Yes, it's at the level of the coefficient. So, but that's how you calculate the average of given numbers. Yes, that's how you calculate the averages of any given number. Yeah, actually, this is different from this is because the average of the coefficient of English is 2. Yeah, in order for us to advance properly, I'm just going to change this coefficient to 4 so that all the subjects have a coefficient of 4. You see, it automatically changes this to 11.33 as well, and we can drag across to have our same averages here all across. Yeah, so notice the decimal points are just too many. So if we want to reduce, we'll go to the home tab, and then under number you will see increasing decimal right up here, and then decreasing decimal. So we will want to click on decreasing decimal so that it reduces the number of decimal places to even 2. Yes, so this is the individual averages for each student, the individual average per student. Yes, so now what if we want to get like the class average, the average for the entire class? So we select the cell at the bottom of all the averages, and we type our equal to average, double click, and we select and enter. So in this class, the class average is 14. We could equally let me displace this, like move it this way. Good. We could equally calculate this by using the sum function, and divide it by the total number of students in class. So we will have equal to, and using our auto sum, we double click, it automatically selects that, and then we want to divide this by the number of students in class. So we can divide by, we had 15 students in class, and it gives us the same result as using the average function. We can equally go ahead to reduce the number of decimal places. Recall we did naming of range and naming of cells, where so we can go ahead select all the elements of all the range of column n, and then name it. You can name it as as, for instance, and without giving any space, we press enter. So anywhere on our Excel sheet where we input as, Excel will recognize it as we are as the entry of that entire column. How can we use this? If we put equal to average as, automatically Excel selects everything under which we named under as, and if we press enter, it still gives us the same average. Similarly, if we have equal to sum, we select everything, equal to sum, yeah, parenthesis open, as, yes, we close our bracket, and again we divide it by the number of students who are in class, and we press enter. It still gives us the same. So Excel has this many options that we can choose depending on which one we are at ease with using. Now let's go ahead and look at 3 other Excel functions. called the highest or max, the lowest or mean, and the number. So let's input like highest, where we want to know the highest, the student in class with the highest average, for instance. The lowest if we had not yet ranked our, and then number of, yes, number of student. So if you might have data in a column, you may have a long column of data, and you want to know the, could be maybe the income, the payment made to your company for the month. You want to know who paid the highest, yes, who paid the highest amount of money. Like for our case, we have a student with averages in class, and we want to know like which student had the highest average for that semester. For our case, we already ranked, so it's very easy for us to just go to Yusuf and know that Yusuf had 17 average, and of course which will mean that he is the highest, the student with the highest average in class. But if of course we had not yet arranged our data, we had not yet sorted, and we had not yet ranked our data, we could use this Excel function which is known as the max function. So we have equal to max, yes, max, and remember we named Excel still asks us to input the number, the range. Excel still asks us to input the range which we want to determine the max within. But then we remember we named our range as AS, so I just go ahead and click on AS. Otherwise we will put we'll define the maximum, we'll give the identity for the maximum cell, which is N3. Otherwise we'll have N3 colon N17 to define the range, and we press enter, and it gives us the maximum average as 17. Yes, maximum as 17. Or we use the equal to max, double click on max, and we'll put AS, which will automatically select our range, and enter, which still gives us 17. Similarly for mean, we have equal to mean, AS, enter, and it gives us the average for the lowest student in class, which is 11.33, or equal to mean, and we define N3, we define our range. We said in defining range, you put the identity for N17, you put the identity of the cell in the top left, and the identity of the cell in the bottom right. Enter. Still we have our 11.3. And lastly, we have number of students. Of course you will be saying we already know the number of students. Yes, we do know, but we can have situation where we don't know the number of students, and in this case we use the count function. So we have equal to count, yes, we give count word AS, and enter. It counts 15 as the number of students. We could use count equal to count, and instead of putting AS, we define N. We had N3 to N17, and enter 15 student. Notice when we are inputting the count function, we have so many other counts. count A, count blank, count if, which we will of course be seeing a video on how to apply all these other count functions. So these are the most commonly used functions in Excel: sum, AutoSum, average, count, min, max. Yes, so we will continue to the next part of our training, which is formatting of cells in Excel. So we're going to be seeing how to format numbers, text, cell, rows, and column, and eventually getting to printing out your worksheet on paper. So in order for us to go through this section, we are going to assume that these students were given an amount of money by their institution based on the averages they had. Yeah, based on the averages they had. So I'm just gonna input like just any. Yeah, they were given an amount of money by their daily income, their daily money given by the parents. They were given an amount of money by their parents. So I've added a column here, which is a column of payment or money given to each student by their parents. So looking across all this, you see that everything just seems like we have numbers. I'm going to go ahead and delete everything we have here. All across, the only thing we have are numbers, so there is really no distinction someone can make from the numbers. The first thing that I would like to show you is how to format the column or the row of money related how to format money related column or row. So for now we just have numbers in our number ribbon, so you can change that. Yes, you can change that to currency. So now each number has a currency attached in front of it, which will make a huge and a lot of distinction. We may equally want our average to appear as fractions instead of decimal. Still, we select everything and then we select our entire column, the average column, and then we change it here either to percentage or to fractions. Yes, so we have 11 and 1/3, 11 and 1/3, 12 and 2/3, we have 13 and 2/3, 16 and 1/3, and so on. Yes, there is also, when it comes to currency, there is another function, which is instead of putting the general currency, we can decide to put accounting. Yes, so we can decide to put accounting. Let me apply the accounting on this. Okay, we can decide to put accounting. Notice the difference between the accounting we have here and the currency. The difference is that the dollar sign and the currency are separated, and it actually makes it easier for you to be able to read the number and not confuse it with the dollar sign in front of it. So those are the two ways that we can format money related column. Yes, money related column. Now there are other numbers related formatting, including dates and time. We have short dates, we have long dates, we have time, percentages, scientific, yes. If in case you have a number like a very long number and you want to format it into a site, well, it appears automatically in the scientific. But if it didn't, you could click here to change it to 1.00 exponential 16, which is 1 times 10 to the 16. Great. Or you could leave it as just in Excel in general. Text, if Excel interprets something as text, it generally aligns to the left, and numbers aligns to the right. But you can change this by using the alignment function, either to align central. Yes, you can change it by using the alignment function. Yeah, but automatically Excel always aligns text to the left and normal numbers to the right. You can equally want to check at more numbers formatting. Yes, you can have more numbers formatting on the home tab, number ribbon, and we open here to see a lot more alignment, font. Yes, we have font, and under alignment you can change the angle. You can change the angle. Yes, you can change the angle of your numbers. Let's just go ahead and change the angle of this. Under alignment, generally for text, this is for text, I think. Yeah, text and numbers. You see, we have changed the angle that our number. This is general even in Microsoft Word. To change the angle, yes, to change the angle of your text in a table, we leave it at 40. This is 40 degrees. You can manually type in the angle here. Let's go with 60 for instance. Wrap text. I think we saw wrap text already. Good. This is wrap. So wrap text simply means you want home number. When you wrap text, it means you want the text to appear to be contained within your cell. So as you type, and when you get to the line, when you get to the end of your cell, it automatically moves to the next line. Great. And you will not have problems with. Great. That's what a wrap cell actually does. That's what the wrap cell function. Yeah, so for our text we haven't. You may want to also format the headings of your table so that someone looking at it will be able to see clearly that it is different from the rest of the table by bolding it, Control B, or selecting and clicking on the bold. You can italize it, you can underline it. Control I for italicizing, and then italics, and then Control U for underlining. Great. You can equally want to increase the font size as well as change the font type. Notice that since we selected, we align everything on row 1 and 2. If I start inputting anything here, automatically it will be bold, it will be underlined, and it will be appear in italics since I selected everything across those 2 rows. or you may equally want to change the background of your headings. Yeah, by selecting and everything. You may equally want to change the background of your heading by selecting everything, and in the home tab and font ribbon, you have your theme that equally have different colors for those heading if you want. Excel actually gives us a lot of options that we can use. Yes, this color is great. Same as maybe you might want to do some changes with the column of names of student. Yeah, names of student. You may also want to yeah you may also want to bold all the borders of your cell. Bold the borders of your cell. Notice the changes that appears here, since due to the alignment, the changes in alignment we did with our table. So I'm just going to go ahead and change that alignment, and I put it back to horizontal, that is 0. Great. Everything looks quite pretty now. Yes, everything is okay. What other changes can we make? You may want to bold the name, the student, your student ID. Yes, since we are dealing with formatting, we'll cover formatting in a subsequent lesson, but then let me just make mention of this format painter, which we have of course seen already. We are done formatting here. If you want to format a cell which has if you want to format a cell to have the same appearance or characteristic as a cell you've already formatted, all you need to do is just to select the cell and click on your format printer, which is right here, and then you select the cell whose characteristics you want to format, and automatically it becomes, or it changes to contain whatever characteristic your source cell is having. So if I wanted to change that to black to appear like the cell containing Mary, I just select that and then I click on it. Automatically it changes. You can also do that um, for many. Yes, you can do that for range as well, and not just cell. So if I click here and I select a number of ranges, they automatically change to contain, to become like our source cell. Let me go ahead and undo, Control Z to undo. Yes, notice that each time we copy, for instance, if we want to, let me undo. If I want to do this, copy the characteristics of cell name, of the name cell, and paste here. Each time I click on it, the the format painter disappears. So if I want to do for the next, I will have to go back and click again on the format painter, click again on the format painter. But so if you know that you want to do multiple format painting, all you need to do is to double click on it, and then you can be able to do multiple, as many as possible. So I'm just gonna escape and undo all what uh, we have. Yeah, all what's done. Yeah, we've done quite some formatting, but you may want to use the auto format toolbar, the auto format function, which is normally supposed to appear in the quick toolbar right up here, but for now we don't have it. So for you to have it, you need to go to the quick toolbar, click here, and then go to more command. When you select more command, here we have popular command. You scroll down, popular command. Yeah, we have popular command, so we change. Here we have popular command, we have to change it to all commands. Yeah, when all command appear, you can then scroll down to auto format. Yeah, this is auto format. Here you click on it and then take add, and you'll be added. You can add so many other commands from here, like AutoSum and so on. AutoSum, average. Yeah, you add them to your quick toolbar, and then you take OK. Now we have our auto format tool right up here, right here. So how can you format this using that tool? By simply clicking anywhere on your Excel table, on your working environment, and then double clicking on the auto format, which will give you a list of proposed table type which you can browse through. And when you find what you want, you say click on it and then take OK. Automatically your table is formatted to look like the choice you selected from the auto format. So remember, you click anywhere on your table, double click, and you can choose any other table type of your choice from the auto formatting options. So I am going to undo, yes, to have back our table. Those are the few basic formatting that we can do at this level. Yes, you can watch more videos on formatting, where we'll cover formatting in details. Yeah, so next we are going to look at how to plot some charts in Excel. That will be in our part of our lesson 4, which I will advise those of you who have been following, to go through that for more tutorials.